Are depressed teens more likely to use drugs? 1.1 million teens commit suicide every year in the United States. Would you want that to be your kid someday? Depressed teens in the United States are more likely to use and abuse drugs than teens without depression. Teens nowadays have really easy access to drugs. Statistics say 2 million teens aged from 12 to 17 have felt depressed at some point in their lives, and are more likely to use and abuse drugs if they are suicidal or depressed. There are better methods to help with these issues, but depressed teens would rather use and abuse drugs to deal with the pain, and are probably more likely to overdose than the average teen. It is shown in recent studies substance abuse is common among people who are battling a depressive disorder. Because alcohol is a central nervous system depressant, the use of the drug tends to trigger depression symptoms like lethargy, sadness, and hopelessness. However, many depressed individuals reach for drugs or alcohol as a way to lift their spirits and numb painful thoughts. As a result, depression and substance abuse feed into each other, and one condition will often make the other worse. This shows that people often use drugs if they have depression or a mental disorder. In today's society, it is almost normal to smoke marijuana or drink alcohol. And this applies more to teens who are experimenting with drugs because they are so accessible. Teens who have depression look for something to help cope with the pain. Most teens find that relief in drugs and think it is helping them, but in the long run, it only makes things worse. In fact, most teens think drugs will help get them out of depression by taking antidepressants. Antidepressants are mood-altering drugs. People usually feel worse when they stop taking antidepressant medications, and they may experience withdrawal symptoms by having a biochemical brain imbalance. This is an argument for why they should not be taken in the first place. Antidepressants work by balancing chemicals in your brain called neurotransmitters. That affect mood and emotion. These depression medications can also help improve your mood, help you sleep better, increase your appetite, and your concentration. Antidepressants can have harmful effects on development too. Besides, many people start by taking these drugs when they are young and remain on them for several years. Being depressed can distort your perception of your problems and make it difficult to address certain issues. In recent years, the side effects of these drugs, from sexual dysfunction to suicidal behavior, have received more attention. Drug makers have been instructed to add warnings about the most serious dangers, particularly the risk of suicide. So the public and professionals are weighing the risks and benefits anew. This evidence leads us to believe that antidepressants generally do more harm than good as far as treatment for depression goes. Antidepressants cannot make you forget your problems, but they can make it easier for you to deal with them, which is why this is such a popular method. Overall, depressed teens in the U.S. are more likely to use and abuse drugs than teens who are not depressed. Among teenagers, suicide attempts may be associated with the feeling of stress, self-doubt, pressure to succeed, financial uncertainty, disappointment, and loss. For some teens, suicide may appear to be a solution to their problems. Depression and suicidal feelings are treatable mental disorders. In my opinion, because of all the side effects of both prescription and recreational drugs, teens should not use any drugs to treat depression. Instead, parents should get their teens psychotherapy treatment so they have professional help. It is also great for those who suffer from depression to get regular exercise, so parents should make sure their teen is getting regular physical activity. With no side effects, these treatments are a far better option for depressed teens. And scene.